Welcome to Kick Push Gulf Coast. This is the Gulf Coast Skateparks Association's podcast. It's meant to be more of a place for us to grow an online community to talk about skateboarding and the issues that are kind of related to skateboarding across the Gulf Coast. We got a really awesome episode for you today. One, I'm joined by our co-host, Chris. So he's our treasurer, and he was on the last episode, but I figured we'd bring him in for today for this awesome interview podcast. And then I have two guests with us. Would you mind introducing yourselves?
I'm Jennifer, Certified Peer Support Specialist with Gulf Coast Respite House.
I'm Nicole Pierce. I'm the director of the Gulf Coast Respite House.
And so we're excited to talk to y'all today because I think there's a lot of overlap that skateboarding can have with some of the programs that y'all work in. Before we get to that, we just want to cover a couple of our quick announcements. And so something we're really fired up about is on January 31st at 1 p.m. at the Biloxi DIY Skate Park, we'll be doing our youth skate clinic. And so it's absolutely free, and all you gotta do is bring your helmet, bring a parent, and then bring a friend. Come out and skate with us. We'd love to skate with you. And really what this time is a dedicated time for the youth to come and skate, and that if there's any adults there, they're coming there to be mentors and skate mentors and show you the way, show you the ropes. And again, it's free. So we'd love to have you out. Then on February 7th, we'll be doing our second stop of the Gulf Coast Skateparks Champions Tour. We'll be stopping at Slidell Skate Park with our friends there,
Nice.
hanging out with our friends at Ride and Dirty Skate Shop, and all the friends that we have that skate over there. The cool thing that's happening at that stop is we're going to be doing a game and skate contest with $300 up for grabs, and then we will be doing a best trick contest. And that best trick contest, if you win that, you're automatically seeded into the finals at Skating the Coast.
Yeah, and y'all go ahead and get signed up. Last time everyone waited till the last possible minute,
Yeah.
and it filled up on us quick. So if you want a spot, sign up quick.
So the Waterboy stop that we did in Pensacola just earlier this month in January was amazing. We had an incredible turnout. It was 150 people. The house was packed, and they have a balcony, and there's people just spectating from the top looking
Nice.
in.
Love it.
It was a incredibly. It was obviously a competition, but I'm trying to say that the competition was very there was some really talented skateboarders out there. I felt like and there was some awesome energy and camaraderie, and
Nice.
it's cool to see skaters from different regions of the coast coming together. And so that's what we're expecting to see in Slidell, same as we did there. So come out, bring your friends. It's gonna be a great time. We got a couple of sponsors. We got Robertson's Electrical Solutions, who sponsored the whole tour. So they're our local business sponsors, so thank you to them. Thank you to our energy sponsor, Red Bull, for hooking us up with a sponsorship to go around the coast. Really
Nice.
appreciate that.
Nice.
And then Mythic Skateboards, which is the skate brand that I've launched personally, is dedicating to sponsor the tour. So we're really stoked to all jump in there and see that this is an awesome event. All right. So last announcement is that we want to grow this community, and we know a lot of you may jump in here and leave a comment, but we would also encourage you to subscribe. We just are inviting you to join this community. We think that we're going to do something special together and keep growing, and the more that we're connected, I feel like, is the more that we'll be able to have an impact with the Gulf Coast Skateparks Association. All right, so a lot of announcements,
Yeah.
but I'm happy to get through it because that means things
Heck
are moving
yeah.
forward. And so, Nicole,
Yes.
how did you hear about what the skate park, what was your first experience with the skate park situation down here over the last 2 years?
So, just hearing about how there used to be a skate park
Yep.
on DeBees.
Yep.
Missed that totally. And then really, I didn't hear about the skate park until my boyfriend moved here from Tampa.
Okay.
Because he's a skater,
So he probably skated the skate park of Tampa.
there's
so,
There's
several
several
there.
Yeah.
amazing ones, as y'all probably very well know. So.
They back in the 80s, they were big skaters then, and he just recently picked it up again, probably a couple years ago. because my brother and him are best friends, and my brother started skating, so he's like, I'll do it. So he got here, and that's how I learned about you guys. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, and that means that we're connecting with people out there. And Jennifer, I already know how you know about it.
Yes.
And so for those watching, I do want to take a second to recognize you and praise you. There was something that you did last year that really sparked some momentum for us, and that was Arts for Skateparks, which was our first event last year. And during, it's kind of cold in January, but we've been prepping for a few months leading up to it, where we're connecting with a ton of artists.
Yeah.
And we're getting them to see the vision, and they're advocating for us. And more than anything, from that event, we raised so much awareness about the project.
And that was the whole point of it. More than anything, of course, raising money is always great, but awareness is the most important thing to me. And I think there is a relationship between, I think, both of those worlds,
Yeah, absolutely.
So I thought it was a great way to, intermesh those worlds together. And I think it was a great success in that regard. And I've actually been thinking about talking to y'all about doing something in the near future as well again. But yeah, it was great and lovely, and it was a pleasure and a privilege to do it.
Yeah,
so.
the recap video that we had afterwards, it was so cool, because I didn't expect, so it was a lot of our skateboarding friends who came out, some friends from the community, but all the art and just that special night that I think just lives forever rent free in my mind of just it was such a cool moment to be a part of.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
And I'll praise you and Haley all the time. I could not have, I could not have pulled it off. There's no way my ADD brain would not have been able to do it. And poor Tyler had to put up with me. So.
No, it was good. And well, I got people that I can rely on, a good team.
For sure.
And so
y'all are dynamite. It was great.
I think that was a pure instance of, you ever hear someone say you never can do anything great alone? It doesn't happen.
Absolutely.
And so that was just a great example. And it wasn't just you and me. I had a huge team,
whole
Chris
team.
and Andrew.
I mean, y'all were phenomenal. And there is I would have had a nervous breakdown. So y'all were the perfect mix. Perfect mix up against my specialness.
And there was a really good overlap too of artists and skaters. So I don't think we really even planned on it, but we had a lot of skateboard related art.
We did. Yeah, it was great. And that was, I felt that was a lot of the art that did really well and raised some money at the event. So yeah, it was great. And I would love to learn from, that event and make one even more fine tune it and really do a even more awesome one, which I think we can totally pull off. So.
And when I think back of what I've gotten the chance to do this year with launching a skateboard brand, I think the challenge of creating art for that auction also helped me to develop my portfolio, my get another repetition in, and really kind of start to believe myself in again to produce some art. So
that's amazing. Yeah. That's the best outcome I could ever imagine possible. So excellent, cool. Well, thanks for the shout out.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah,
make your girl blush.
So Arts for Skateparks is awesome. Like I said, a lot of impact and awareness that we got to spread that carried on throughout the year. So I got another question kind of for you. So you're skateboarding throughout the years. What was kind of what got you started, and how's that journey been up to now?
Well, I skated when I was, a teenager, a kid. There was a small, groovy little skate scene down here, very DIY, very different than what we see present now. I think the energy now is so much more inclusive and positive, where in the 90s it was it had some negative energy, just because you had to kind of be like this all the time, because it was not something that was okay to do. You got arrested for it sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and even sometimes the locals are a little brutal with each other.
Right. And they associated skateboarders with, nefarious things, which is absurd, but that's just, the counterculture at the time. That's just what it was. So, when you stem from that, which I'm thankful for some of the experiences I had back then, because it shaped, who I am today. But I really dig what's going on in skate culture currently. I really love just like I said, the inclusiveness, getting the youth involved, because not everyone is a one size fits all model for sports. There are more sports other than what is usually offered in most places. And skating saved my life, and it's saved a lot of people's lives that I know as a youth. You know what I'm saying? And I laid it down for, I don't know, maybe 15 years and picked it back up again. I have a friend, Slater, he's rest in peace, but he was, we actually started that skate pad over in downtown Gulfport. That was our thing. That
really?
Yeah, absolutely. Where
There's
I
a lot
think,
of
is it
people-
Patio 44 is on it now?
Yep.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people that after the B shut down
Yes.
that came and that gave a lot of respite to
Yes,
skateboarders
it did.
because they didn't have somewhere to skate at that time.
Yep.
But it was kind of a tenuous relationship a little bit because it was private property.
Correct. So
Yeah.
Slater
Andrew,
and I,
our vice president, used to skate that all the time. In fact,
Really?
I several videos of us skating that.
nice,
out there.
really. I would love to see those. Yeah, Slater and I actually went around getting a petition signed for us to have use of that pad. So, yeah, so he kind of got me back into skating. I'd say about 10 years ago or so, and and I don't try to do anything to like more than pushing a board around, because this is what happens.
So what happened real quick?
This.
Yeah.
So I was skating at our lovely DIY, and I was not paying attention to the momentum and the physics of my skateboard and myself were between the two. And with that being said, I tried to land a trick anyhow, and I went this way, board went that way, face caught the fall and slid. And so, 2 holes, 1 face, like that's what happened here. So stitches.
Yeah.
It was like 3 hours later, I was finally like drugged to the ER because I was not going. I was not going to go. And sure enough, it's the first time I've ever had stitches, ever.
And it was hardcore.
It was. When you saw me afterwards, I was like trying to come to work, and they're like, "No, we're giving you the week off."
Oh dang! It was that bad.
Yes, it was bad. Yeah. So actually, since then, I think I've been on the board like twice, because I just need to bite it and come back out.
Well, that's kind of something that skateboarding is hard.
Yeah,
and no matter
definitely.
like, and the thing is like, you could be as careful as you can be, but like honestly, like the point of it is to challenge yourself and overcome the challenges.
For
and
sure.
through the overcoming of challenges over time makes you feel more confident and ready to push it to the next level.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of tough because in skateboarding there are setbacks. I've suffered several over my years, and it's it's just like anything else in life, that if you really do like it and you're having fun doing it, like when I get hurt skateboarding, my feeling, like the last time I really got hurt, I was skateboarding in the Netherlands, and I was coming down a handrail, and I'd been doing it fine like all night, and then just one out of nowhere took my ankle and rolled it super bad, and I'm on the ground crying in front of these like teenage girls, and I'm like, I'm not crying because it hurts. I'm crying because I know that I have about 3 to 6 months of recovering till I can skateboard again.
Absolutely.
And so that's kind of, it's kind of tough.
Whenever I fall or hurt myself, that's the exact thing that goes through my mind, is like, is it bad enough where I have to be off my foot for the next week?
Yes.
2 weeks?
Yes, and when the psychological part of it, especially when you're not as, as active with it, because I'm 46. So, that matters. It does. And
having a routine so that you can do it
Absolutely.
and have fun, but if you're not keeping up with your routine,
Absolutely.
it does make it. We do find a lot of skateboarders who, when they come back and return, they try and pick up right where they left
and I
off.
was just about to touch on that, and that you have that 15-year-old mentality, but your body's like, no.
Yeah.
So.
And I try to do my best to kind of like, especially to guys who are about I'm 34 again.
You're young yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
But for the last 5 years, since I took that nasty spill and I really reevaluated it, and it came down to not stretching properly before him. And in fact, I think you need a stretch routine that is like not just the day of, like it should be the night before,
Agreed.
the morning of, and then you do your dynamic stretch, to get the body warmed up to skate.
Agreed.
And then before you hop your happy button back in the car, you do a quick cool down stretch.
For sure.
And then, then the next day you reevaluate. Like there's more of a process as you get older. In fact, if you were practicing that when you were younger, that's the thing that I look back now and it's like, if I was 15 and I had those good habits, I would have been unstoppable, dude. Oh.
Yes, it does matter. And like, so I would say maybe like not even 6 months ago, I got back on my board and then I was practicing frontside shove-its and split my shin open. So it's like, oh, well, I was using my riding skateboard that had heavier trucks, heavier wheels. I'm just like, why did I do this? So and I have like 10 skateboards. So what's that?
Did the truck just come around and smack you in the shin?
Yes. Well, no, the truck and the weight of the truck flipped my board around and the side of the board came back around and so.
Oh, no. I didn't get stitches, but I was playing a game of skate with the person that I looked up to skateboarding. I just thought he was so cool because, well, he's my cousin for one. We grew up like brothers. We always spent time together, but I thought he was always so cool. And then he got a skateboard for Christmas one year. And then I wanted one. And then finally in high school, we've been skating for a while, and we would do what's called a game of skate. You ever heard of horse? Like where
Yes.
It's like doing trick shots, but with your skateboard.
Nice.
And so we were playing, we were playing a game of skate on my front porch, and it's kind of one of those games. It's like, oh man, it's gonna live forever. We're tee to tee on skate, and we've been going back, and it's a great game. We play it for an hour, and then I'm going for heel flips, and the board, I just catch it wrong one time, and it pops up and hits me broadside of my face. I don't remember which cheek it is. I feel like it must be this one. And if you look at it in the right light, like my mom had to go in and get a butterfly stitch because it did split my cheek open.
Oh my word,
Yes.
but it did.
I've been there.
I just like, and then that was like, I haven't been on the board since that.
Yeah.
So it's just like, dang it.
Yeah.
But I just need to just stop it. And it's like I said, it's psychological. You get in that headspace and, so you just got to do.
Yeah, but there's all kinds of ways to skate, and I think so for some people. There's this dude who keeps coming back to the skate park who's always telling me. I'm not gonna out him right here, it's because I'll let him tell his story eventually. But he's always telling me, man, like I've needed this because of the things I've been working through in my personal life for the last decade. And he's like, I kind of wish I'd been doing it sooner, because it's what's helped me with clarity.
Absolutely.
Well, obviously the overall just skating and being fit again and having something to kind of challenge myself, and then have a dedicated time during the week that I'm not thinking about the stresses. And he's like, since he's been restarted, he would tell me there's been weeks where he hadn't missed a day. And which is great that he's able to find that thing. And I know I would recommend maybe a little moderation, but if you're loving it, that's what
absolutely.
it is.
And it's also the camaraderie too. It's not just the action of skateboard. Like I said, I touched on earlier, just the community here. I love it. I love the skate community here. I think it's phenomenal, and it's so just welcoming, inviting to everybody. And that's relatively new for me in that world, and I really feed off of it. And I think most people that come out to the park and skate feed off of one another. And I'll just sometimes sit there and watch people, and it's just, I love it. Again, that's enough for me. But I'm that girl that just pushes around in circles and gets out the way when somebody wants to do a trick, because I'm not trying to do any tricks anymore. But I just love going around there
Cruising's
and
fun.
pushing the board. Yeah,
We
absolutely.
need a pump track.
Yeah, so we have
I promise you,
it's
when
a
I buy
highly
my house,
requested
that's like what I want in my backyard is my own personal pump track.
So there's been several surveys that we've done, and we got surveys that will be coming out here soon, especially as we get to new phases of development for the skate park, and that's something that comes up a lot. It's kind of heated because people want it, and some people are like, I want it but not expensive, some things. And to me, I think it's more of like, how can we integrate a pump track like feature into a park, but not completely pump track the whole thing? But I think it'll take about, but I don't want to, that's just my personal
For the
thoughts.
older
Everyone's got their own
folks,
opinion.
I think a pump track.
It's crazy. The people who don't want it really don't want it.
Wow.
But I mean, it'd be so easy just to line the park with it.
I think
around
an
the
approach
outside.
like that is more like what I would appreciate, because if it's if we have a park, right, and then the entire outer perimeter was a pump track like feature, I think that would be, you know, there'd be flow all the way around. And you got to think, if it's a big park like what we're expecting to do, 62,000 square feet, that's a lot.
Nice.
Yes.
If it's that big, then at all times you can have like kind of different biomes, and you know, if you think of it in that way, that there will be circulation on the outside.
Absolutely.
And then, you know, people are like, okay, I want to skate the bowl section, or I want to skate the street section, or I just want some flat, you know, a little bit of diversity will help a lot.
I think so too.
Something
awesome.
I did want to ask is, in this new position that you're in, where do you see any overlaps, or that you wish people knew from the skate community about what services y'all provide?
Well, so I'm fairly new to this field, so that would be a Nicole question. But I mean, what I would like to see, and why I reached out to you to have this conversation is, you know, there is a correlation and relationship between mental and physical wellness. You know, and I think
I believe that.
And I was actually thinking of ways like how I could reach out to you and incorporate this love with this love of mine, right? And I was like, well, I would love to, you know, have conversations with people at the park and you guys and whoever, and even my coworkers about my thing is skating. Like that's what, when I'm actively skating, that's the physical wellness activity that I do that really just locks in mental clarity. It aids in my mental wellness journey. It keeps me sane. So that's why when I reached out to you, I was like, you know, I would love to just explore that a little bit more, and just, you know, all of us kind of come together and see what we can do together.
I think this is an important conversation, because something my wife and I were talking about before the podcast is that Wednesday nights are a great time for us to come together and do this activity together. But I think also I check in with my friends, and I check in with the guys who skate, and I've met, and we're growing a community, and I see them. I get to catch up with them, and I'm excited to do that. That's kind of the first thing we do. Sometimes it's a little surface level, but hey, how you doing? Because some people are just ready to skate.
Absolutely.
And other times I get the opportunity to like notice that, why is my friend just chilling off by the pillar and not kind of being like, he's not even skating, he's just here. Like, and I don't try and pry. I'm not qualified to really get in there.
Right.
But I'm qualified to be a friend.
Absolutely.
You know, so I will. Hey, we're gonna go get, you know, some food after this. You want to come? We've done that. I've done that for a couple guys. And then, but on the outside, like when I just observe our community, I see these similar interactions happening. Yeah. And so I guess if we're trying to take that deeper, what maybe are some ways we could do that, encourage our community to do that?
Well, I hear like you talking, and you're just giving peer support to your skater friends, right? So that's what the Gulf Coast Respite House is peer support. And we have groups. We actually have morning, evening, and midnight check-in, where you just check in. Are you doing good? Yeah. Great, let's talk about it. Are you doing bad? Great, let's talk about it. Because feelings is what pushes us along. And I think if we can identify like what's going on with us, then we can change that and move into a more positive direction, because we get stuck in our negativity. So skateboarding, any kind of physical activity helps with that, right? So just being able to talk to someone, and that's what we do at the Respite House, is we're there to talk and give people a new way of thinking about wellness.
For sure.
Instead of going to a clinic and they give you medication, because we're not clinicians.
Right. It's a non-clinical setting. It's a you know, homeopathic setting, if you will. You know.
What does that mean?
It's without like a clinical setting, no medications. We don't have doctors on staff. Yeah, we don't even have remedies. It's more so. It's just like you're going to talk to someone who has experienced perhaps some of the feelings that and we have all walks of life that work there. So there's always going to be, I feel, someone that you can relate to. But yeah, so would you like to go on about what we offer there as far as like what the Respite House is doing?
We meet people where they're at. So if we have somebody that calls and says, hey, I really am thinking about suicide. This is all I think about. Or I'm harming myself constantly. that's exactly where they need to come.
For like when they're in the middle of crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or they can just feel it coming.
Yeah.
You know, they could be grieving. They could be overloaded at work, overloaded at home. We've had guests come in that have a whole family, go home, cook, put the kids to bed, and then come back to the house for their care because their home life is just too hectic for the moment.
That's incredibly critical support that I hope that, I mean, I'm glad we're getting the chance to kind of talk about this more. I think this is something absolutely I'd love to get that information out there. If someone was trying to connect with a service like that tonight,
Okay.
right, what steps could they
So
take?
they can either call the house or they can go on to the Mental Health Association webpage and make a reservation. And then we call them, do like a proactive interview to make sure they're a good fit. They have to be 18 years and old. They have to be a Mississippi resident. So anybody in the state of Mississippi can come. And they have to have a level of stability to come, you know, make sure that they're able to take care of themselves hygienically, because it's an overnight place. They can come and stay 0 to 14 days, twice in 1 year.
And it's free.
It's free.
Yes.
It's grant funded. They don't have to. Now, if they want to come and have steak and shrimp every night, then they will have to go and buy that themselves.
Okay.
But we have like the staples. We have eggs, we have milk, we have bread, we have chicken. Some of the supporters that work there will actually get in the kitchen and cook with you. I hate to cook, so I will not cook with anybody, but I'll watch.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's all about meeting people where they're at. What can we do to help you or to guide you? Somebody can walk in and say, yeah, I'm going to stay, and then 5 minutes later say, this isn't for me. No judgment, dude. Come when you're ready.
Yeah.
We don't take referrals from doctors or clinics because in order for a person to really want to change, they have to want it themselves.
Yeah, and I think that I'm just speaking for myself, but maybe y'all have also seen that people that in your life that you wish had these services available, but I don't know what would be the right approach to making sure that they got this without saying, hey, I think you need it.
Right.
I don't know if it is like how.
Yeah, it has
you
to
have that
be. I mean,
conversation?
well, so speaking from personal experience, and which is what makes me a peer support specialist. A certified one at that is that I have the lived experience. So I have been the person calling or coming through that door seeking help, but not knowing where to turn, not wanting to go to a hospital, but just having a resource of somewhere I can talk to somebody who can relate. Like I have been in the situation where I've gone to places where no one knows what you're going through because they've gone to school to write prescriptions or for talk therapy, and that's fine and it's needed. But when you're in a crisis and you need someone that can relate to your experience to guide you, and they haven't, then it's really difficult to take any kind of help like that to heart and serious, especially when you're kind of like in a mental space where you're in limbo and you're kind of on the edge of, whether or not you want to move forward with treatment or, So when you have someone with lived experience who can relate to what you might be going through, it makes all the difference. And so the fact that we have this, are offering this free of charge, is pretty fantastic. It's the first in the state, correct?
I think they just opened up another one. in
Yeah.
Jackson.
But
It sounds to me that this might be one of the elements that's reducing those barriers that might be keeping people from trying to seek this stuff.
for sure.
Are there any other barriers that are kind of like maybe it's a misconception about these kind of services?
Well, I tell people I've been in recovery for nearly 16 years. And in 16 years, I really thought I'd be better than I am today, with all of this knowledge that I give myself. I read books, I do therapy, and I thought I'd be further along. But man, it is hard to ask people for help.
Yeah.
Like it really is, because, and especially for me, in my experience growing up in a very dysfunctional home, I had to do everything by myself. So for me to ask for help, is ridiculous.
For sure.
I imagine it's very hard to see, or to see the perspective that there would be people out there who would be excited to help.
Yes.
You know?
We are
Yes.
excited.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but it's
Yeah.
hard when you're on the other side of it, probably to
Absolutely.
have that perspective, and that's something maybe we
is.
could help break those barriers down a little bit, sharing, like there are people who are excited to help, that want to help.
Yeah.
These services wouldn't be stood up otherwise, right?
Right.
It's really it's getting out of your own way and saying, man, I just need something. I need to talk to somebody. I need to,
Yeah.
and they don't necessarily have to come to the respite house.
Yes.
They can call and we can give them a plethora of resources, because we don't want anybody to call and go away with nothing. So if we can't help them, we certainly will put them in the right direction.
For sure.
But again, too, changing one's mindset, it's really something that you have to want to do. So, but we're here, we're ready.
Yeah.
Call us.
But it's a great bridge, you know what I'm saying? Because when it's scary, not only asking for help, but it's scary. I know there's been many times I've, like neglected receiving help, from family that was offering to, get me help and so forth and so on. And it's scary taking that first step. So this, to me, I feel, whether you're dealing with recovery from addiction, or you're thinking about that, making that first step, and you just want someone that can relate to you, or you're dealing with some mental health issues that are resurfacing that you've dealt with before, but you don't want to go, to a hospital or to a doctor's office. You just want to talk to somebody and see if you can sort it out before you go that route. It's amazing to have that bridge available to people. It's not so intimidating. It's a lot more, like friend to friend type thing. So.
Yeah. I mean, when we're like kind of talking about this piece, it almost sounds even more organic in the way that it's kind of set up than
Absolutely.
than the clinical system. And I know those services are important and they have their place
For sure.
and they help certain people, but it just sounds like a warmer touch. Like
It's
I don't know
in
how to say it otherwise.
It's in a house.
Yeah.
It's literally, I don't want to give the location away, but skate park is not too far from us. So
Okay.
Yeah.
it is in Biloxi. It's in an older house. We have 4 bedrooms, so we can hold 4 guests at one time.
Handicap accessible. Yeah.
Everybody has their own bedroom. Upstairs we'll have to share a bed or a bathroom, but they can come and go. When you go into like a crisis unit or a hospital, sometimes your rights are taken from you. Your phones are taken from you. Shoelaces, like you're in lockdown. Here, no, keep your phone.
Keep your job.
We lock
Yeah.
the door at 9. If you're going to be late, let us know. But you come and go. It's about getting well in a different way. Just
Yeah.
with people that have been where you're going or where you're at right now, and just, hey, I'm going to sit right here with you and we're going to get through it together.
Yeah.
Do you find that the majority of the people, or is it even split, come to you organically or encouraged from other people?
I'm going to say maybe half and half.
Yeah.
And they're encouraged. We will, if we have the crisis unit call us or the hospital
Right.
call us, we will have the case manager put us on the phone directly with the person. We don't want the case manager speaking for them or anything. But here lately, it has been more of a hospital calling, hey, my client's in here, can you talk to him? So,
And which
So
is go ahead.
Is that something that just kind of happened organically, that relationship between you and the hospital?
well, getting the word out.
Yeah.
Because we do work in the mental health field, behavioral health, we want to get the word out to those clinics or hospitals that have, a little group of people that maybe don't have insurance, clinical settings aren't working for them anymore, they need something else. It's us.
Absolutely. And that's what I was about to say, was that this is the sole purpose of us being here is community outreach. We want to get the word out. It's a fairly new idea, in South Mississippi, and a lot of people, even the hospitals and whatnot, they don't have a full grasp or understanding as to what we truly do. And it's fine for us to break it down, but I would really love the more people who know about what we do and or have correct information as to what we do and how we operate, the better. And maybe it'd be a less intimidating move on somebody's part to contact us if they need it, so yeah.
I mean, the awareness part sounds like a challenge right now.
For sure.
What other challenges are y'all kind of going
When
through?
we've been open for a little over a year and a half, and when we first started, it was challenges of being able to get into a neighborhood.
Yeah.
City council, not really wanting us there.
They can relate.
Yeah, and there was some yeah, for sure. It was there were people in the community that understood what we wanted to do, and they were our biggest champions, and they helped open some doors and network us with some people. I don't know if this is similar to your story, but
and now that we're here, it's funny, some of the same people that were like, love what you do, but just do it over
here.
there.
Yeah.
Going and, because I go out and we'll talk to groups, and, a couple of them are in those groups, and then are like, wow, I'm glad you guys made it. Like, good for you. So there are barriers, and that just has to do with stigma. People are fearful.
Yeah.
Fear.
Yes.
So can we connect the dots?
Yeah, we
here?
can connect with that.
Yes.
I think in terms of and that's a different kind of stigma than what we do, and it comes down to misconceptions a lot.
Absolutely.
And I think that, and I've tried to say this. I used to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Ty Peralt. I'm your friendly neighborhood skateboarder. To get them to reimagine what a skateboarder is. Because most people, they can only name Tony Hawk and then a video game and then maybe some kids who did some, whatever misconception they have. Right?
Correct. Well, it's reestablishing what skateboarders and what skateboarding looks like, like present day. And I think y'all do a phenomenal job of like representing such. So yeah.
It's kind of punk what we're both doing.
Absolutely, it is.
We're pretty.
Am
I allowed to cuss?
Sure.
I don't want to. I mean, we're pretty badass over there.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. Just hearing y'all's stories, and if I could ask, what have been some rewarding moments for y'all? I don't know if you'd like to share.
Well, we haven't had a guest since Jennifer has been on.
We've had some phone calls. I've done some proactives.
And hopefully we had a proactive today, and this individual they're coming from the north, so hopefully they come tomorrow. But is hearing people say things like, if you weren't here, I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah.
Or people say, I wish this was here a few years ago when I needed it.
Right.
Or
oh man.
because we're not clinical, and there is a place for clinicians. There is.
Absolutely, there is.
Medication helps people, but we don't push that. We don't monitor that. If you come to the house and you're on meds and you decide you want to stop taking them, that's on you. I'm big on personal responsibility. So there's a place for clinicians, but I think it's just because we've been there. Mm-hmm. Man, it's just that connection.
Yeah.
They understand it. We understand it.
I mean, hearing you say that somebody said, I wish y'all were here seeing it is something
that y'all probably heard.
Yes, we've heard that so much, but then we see it I wish I could capture that moment, put it in a bottle, and just pour it down somebody's throat who needs to hear it.
Well, and
absolutely.
Again, that goes back to the fear. Like, what is the skate park gonna do to this city?
Right.
What has it done?
Or why should there be any type of investment at all whatsoever? Because there's no one. The people who call the shots aren't directly benefiting from it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like that's not all. I mean, so correct.
And they can't typically see what the benefit will be.
Correct. So that's why awareness is so important. Mm-hmm. It's so important, and these two worlds are very important to me. And although I haven't had the experience of having a guest in the house yet, I'm so thrilled about this new journey and chapter of my life. Like, this is something I've always wanted to do ever since, to be frank and candid, because that's just how I roll. visited my first facility as an inpatient, at a mental health institution, and I've been to rehab. But Saturday was my 3 years, by the way, of sobriety. So
Congratulations.
thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. So I've, like, when I say I've been that person walking through that door or making that phone call, I've been that person. And one of my biggest things being like in that position, it's like, gosh, there's all these people telling me like how to be and what to do, but they've never struggled with addiction, or they've never, been in a mental institution against their will. You know what I'm saying? So that's what, like, for years and years and years, and this like opportunity just, it was just magic or what have you. But for years, I'd be like, I would love to like marry the art, art therapy type thing, and I would love to implement it in facilities across the state of Mississippi. There's a dire need for anything other than what I've experienced, right? Mm-hmm. And then also helping people with my God-given talents or universe-given talents, whatever you want to call it. And so superpowers, yes.
Absolutely.
And then, so it's like a trifecta for me. Everything's kind of like come together as I would love it, always loved it to come together. And it's my love of skating and my relationship with you guys, this work and art. Like, it's powerhouse. And I'm just so stoked to be here doing this right now. So
I'm excited to see what's coming next.
Yeah.
I had a couple of things that I wanted to briefly touch on. You are looking at developing a podcast, right?
Yes, we are.
Do y'all have a name yet or anything?
We don't. It's all on me.
Okay.
Now, we've been talking about, there's 8 of us total at the house. We're 24/7. 365 days a year. So there's always somebody at the house. And I've brought it up a couple times and everybody's like, yeah, that'll be cool. And Jennifer came and she's like, yeah. So
Yeah.
here we are.
And
Check it out.
I mean, y'all saw what we're doing here. We just got
Lots of stuff.
those are 2 camera phones, and then these microphones here. Like, you can easily, pick those up at Best Buy or something.
Absolutely.
If you have, little funds in the back pocket. But I think that what's important about your podcast, and the reason I think it's important that we're doing this podcast, is because people will remember stories more than they'll remember those data points.
Absolutely.
You could sit here and quote to me whatever the data is
Correct.
on the terrible things that happen, but you just tell me a number, like, it doesn't really connect with me as much as if you told me something that happened to you or a
Absolutely.
friend or whatever your experiences are. I think people will remember that you capture those moments and keep putting them out there. I think that's what's going to connect those people who don't understand yet to what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And set y'all up as key people of influences in this area where they need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then the other thing, you said a moment ago that Mississippi hasn't seen something like this. Have you seen these services outside of the state? Like, where was kind of the inspiration?
So when we started writing the grant for this, there were 2 ladies that actually went to other respites in the States. And respites have been around since the 90s. And like most places, there's always a wall trying to get something started. There are a few cities that have really good respites. There were some that had to close down because of grant funding being pulled. But there's not a lot. There's not a lot of respites at all. And it's such a valuable thing for people that just need something different.
For sure.
So for your organization going forward, what is kind of your vision? What would you hope to see in the next few years?
So my vision is...
I saw you light up.
Yeah, because I'm like...
I love answering those questions too, and I can tell we're of the same spirit.
So my vision for the state of Mississippi is, peer support specialist. If you want to become a peer support specialist, you have to go through DMH, do a week-long training. And I just think that the Gulf Coast Respite could be a superpower in kind of starting to train those people before they go out into the world. Yeah, we have guests that come in, but to be able to get people to come into the house and volunteer and take those first steps to going out and helping people is what I see. I want to do trainings for people to keep them up to date on any new wellness things that could be happening. That's what I see, is just becoming a mega superstar for peer support.
Okay. I mean, that's a wonderful vision. I think that what y'all are doing now is going to absolutely continue to build on the momentum. Where do you think other maybe nonprofits like GCSA or any other nonprofits, how could we align and support each other?
Just get the word out. I brought you a little goodie bag, and it's got some flyers and stuff in it. Just get the word out. Tell people about us. I think there's a flyer in here that actually...
We'll do a little exchange then. I'll hand you one of these.
Yes. We have a bulletin board at work.
Yes.
I printed out, I've got to go to Jackson and do some speaking, but I printed out something. I don't know if you can take a picture of it and kind of like put it up.
We'll have it up on the if you send me this digital, I'll throw it up on the podcast.
Perfect. Sure will.
Sweet.
So do y'all do any fundraising or anything, or is it just strictly grants?
So because we're the Mental Health Association, that's like the mothership, right?
Yeah.
We have a annual fundraiser that we do every year called Don't Worry, Be Happy. And we have it in July.
Okay.
And that brings in a lot of funding for us. We had, I want to say last year, about 400 people show up.
Where at?
We have it at the Biloxi Civic Center. No, not the Civic Center. It's attached to the library.
Oh, yeah, it's the Civic
Yeah,
Center.
yeah.
On Howard?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
yes,
you.
Yeah.
We have it there.
Is there like a vendor application where people could like set up a booth or anything there and talk?
No, we don't really set up booths, but I know the people that hold this function,
Okay,
and I
yeah.
can get you some tickets to go, and you can check it out. We do have vendors that come in to feed us. Like we have different restaurants come in and set up tables, and they bring like 400 servings of whatever. We have a live auction where people in the community put together a package, and then we actually have an auctioneer that comes in and the audience bids on the different packages. And then we have a silent auction that we do, and just through the night, dancing, singing, having a good time, raising money.
Yeah.
I will get some tickets for you guys.
Yeah, we'd absolutely love to make an appearance and say, hey,
Absolutely.
sure.
And this year is tropical theme.
Okay.
So wear your Hawaiian t-shirt.
I have to get one.
Yeah.
I think it counts as I don't know if it counts as tropical, but I like wearing my it's like a button-up polo style, but it's got a bunch of like macaws on there.
Do it.
The red and blue. My dad had an aviary when I was growing up, and we had 100 different species of birds.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty
but
rad.
when he would go for temporary duty in the military, it was up to me to feed them all.
That's a big job.
Oh my! We had horses, we had birds,
Wow.
we had so many poodles. He named each one of them after a different character from Gilligan's Island.
Nice.
So I learned respect.
That's
Anyway, it's a whole
hilarious.
side note from Hawaiian
That's a
Shirt.
whole other
yeah.
podcast.
It is a
Yeah.
whole other podcast. That's funny because I name all of my animals after characters from Wes Anderson films. So
I named I didn't name my son. I just spelled his name like Jimi Hendrix, if that counts.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's about it.
Stealing from the stars. Yeah.
Well, I think this is a pretty organic spot to kind
Yeah.
of close things up. So, first of all, thank y'all for coming out
Thanks
and
for
sharing,
having us.
sharing what y'all
Yes.
do. This has been a really awesome conversation. I'm glad we're getting everyone a chance to get introduced to
Yeah,
y'all.
sure.
I think that skateboarding is one of those things that we brought it up in this podcast already, where you feel you belong. You're in
Yes.
a community. It can help you work through different life stressors. Hearing about what you do and understanding the peer support that comes from that,
Yeah.
it's organic. And so I think these two things, and it's kind of funny, it's right down the road from the
It
skate
is.
park.
It-
and
It is.
It really is.
It's
Some
like-
houses wouldn't be there, but we
yeah,
would see
I could
it.
like
Yeah.
throw. I could like do like I could like shine like the Batman symbol,
Yeah.
and like y'all would see it.
So thank y'all so much for coming on. Thank y'all for watching this episode of Kick Push Golf
Absolutely.
Coast. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
All right.
Dude,
Thanks, guys.
that was so sick.